Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're taking a look at a mindless free-to-play space shooter known as Gangs of Space. In this video I'm going to kind of show you what it's all about and why I enjoy playing it. Anyway, welcome to What the Math. So what exactly is Gangs of Space? Well, to be honest, I actually had no idea what kind of game this was until I started installing it. And then what really got me into it was the really cool music that they had. I kind of decided to try it simply because of the music. Now, in a nutshell, it's a space shooter, and it's a relatively simple space shooter with a relatively simple level progression and different ships you can kind of build and update and upgrade and level up. In other words, it's a game that we've probably seen before in many other reincarnations, but what makes this different is, first of all, it's free to play. Second of all, it's multiplayer. Third of all, you can totally play this with your friends and create your own gang. So there's a gang right there. You can totally just go and create a gang known as What the Math, and there we go. Now we have a gang of 1 player. And you can totally join this if you want. Now, what I'm going to show you is basically how this game works and what it's all about. And you usually just start by building a new ship. And here you have several choices. Some of them will be actually locked unless you progress through the game a little bit. And as you level up this ship, you'll get other unlocks as well. There's 6 available to you, and you can actually purchase more with actual money. And this is essentially how the game economy works. So if you want other ships, you may have to spend some money. But if you're okay with just these ships and you want to just unlock everything yourself, you don't have to spend a penny. There's also a kind of a tiered level approach where, depending on your level, you'll actually get to select different areas, and you can totally just jump into more advanced areas if you want, but you might not have a very high chance of survival there. Or you can go with the areas that have the most players. Now, right now this game is not super popular, but there are definitely players playing it, and you can totally just join in and play with other people, which is what I'm gonna do right now. You also obviously have your ship with all kinds of upgrades, with all kinds of items you can place here, and you do have a leveling system that also allows you to update your ship a little bit as you progress through levels. And all of these things can then also be converted into your experience points if you don't need them. Unfortunately, there's no shop here and there's no actual money, so there's either experience points or items. Alright, so let's go and jump into one of the levels, and I'll show you how most of it works. Now, for the most part, that's actually basically the basis of the gameplay. You don't really have much else other than choosing an area you want to go to, and here we're going to choose, let's go for tier 3. This one has a player in it, so we're going to join this player. These are kind of procedurally generated, and once you clear the area, it disappears and a new area is created. So here we are, here's our ship, and it kind of points us to where we need to be going. I'm actually going to go ahead and join this person, so I'm going to open up the map, and there he is. Let's go and join him. Let's actually help him out. And basically our goal here is to conquer areas. And it does actually get really hectic. As a matter of fact, this game gets really fast-paced. And what you're doing essentially is you're fighting enemy ships that are relatively dumb actually. But once in a while you also get to experience a boss fight, and that's actually something that's really cool. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to show you the boss fight in this particular level, but you never know. So we're just going to follow this guy around. He's a completely different person playing this game, and we're basically in a team by default. So there's no friendly fire. Essentially, you can only kill enemies, you cannot kill other people, which is, I think, a good thing. In other words, it's this is a co-op play type of environment. Now, what we're doing here is we're collecting those green blobs, which is your experience points, and we're also collecting these items by pressing E. This is your loot. Whenever you see different color loot, that's probably rares. And these are usually things that will be probably slightly better than your usual items. And so that's kind of how you progress through the game, by getting better items, by getting better loot, and by basically getting more and more experience points. You don't really have to kill every ship. That's not the requirement. The requirement is to conquer these areas that you see right here. There's a capture point right here. And as soon as the capture thingy reaches the end, this area will become ours. We'll get some experience points, we'll get some other points, and we can advance to the next area. When you clear every one of these big level areas, this whole area will become shut down, and you'll actually get a lot of points, or might end up fighting a boss, which is also kind of fun. Now, because this is a kind of a mindless shooter, it does get a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring, but I honestly think this is a perfect game to play when you're really stressed, when you just don't want to think about anything. Just want to, fly around, play with random people, shoot things down, and progress through levels. That's kind of like a perfect game for that. Okay, we just cleared the area. You saw we got some rewards there. We're also going to... We're not going to collect this. This is not a very good item. But we are going to go and try to basically finish most... or clear most of these areas here. Now, occasionally, a new type of enemy will actually jump in and try to kill you. This is an example of one. They're not super hard, but they do get a little bit more difficult with time. And if you're in a higher tier area, you'll actually do die a lot. So be aware of that. But the game is actually fun, especially because you do get to meet people, random people as a matter of fact. Oh yay, level up. And you can also create gangs with them. Or you can just, have your friends join you and play with them. Okay, this is a pretty difficult shift here. Whoa, they can actually shoot sideways. That's something I didn't expect. Yeah, let's try to clear this area and get out of here. This is a lot more difficult than I thought. I believe I'm actually smoking now. Yeah, they kind of damaged me a little bit. But in any case, this is actually pretty much the whole game right here. This is how you'll be spending most of your time. And obviously, with the exception of boss fights, which unfortunately I wasn't able to show you here, this is kind of the 90% of the gameplay. I personally kind of enjoy it. Obviously, it's not for everyone, but it is kind of fun. There's also these stars you can kind of fly across. There's also planets here. Let me show you one of the planets if there is one. Yeah, there's a planet right here. The graphics are not super exciting, but it's functional and it works on really old computers as well. Now, because I leveled up just now, I can actually... There's a planet. I can actually just choose one of these rewards, and we're going to go for... interesting. Critical chance. Yeah, let's go for that. Critical chance is good. And we'll basically be doing the same now. We're just shooting down spaceships, collecting the green blobs to get experience points, and unlocking these areas by capturing the fields here. So that's the Gangs of Space in a nutshell, and this is what the game is like. If you do like this, check it out in the link in the description below. It's absolutely free. And I believe once in a while you'll actually get these sales, especially from Humble Bundle, where you can actually get special ships or special items that you wouldn't get otherwise. And that's kind of how the game makes money. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this little review, and hopefully now you know what Gangs of Space is. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Space out. Come back tomorrow to learn something else. Space out, and as always, bye-bye. And this looks like a lot of ships are trying to kill me in this particular area. I think I came to a slightly higher tier than I was ready for. My guns are not really doing a good job at killing them. Takes a lot of shots.